way too hot for this. Rubber John, this is not wet. Gelled with this thing. Get to know it. Don't bin it. Sean, this is the shittest idea you've ever come up with. Well, hey team, welcome back. And today we're taking a look at the 2019 690 SMCR from KTM. Now this is a bike I've wanted to get onto for ages, and yesterday I took my bike in for service. So because the workshop was quite sort of full, they said to me, leave it with us for a couple of days and why not take this bike out for a test. So I've been hooning around on this bike for 2 days now, really to sort of get to know her, but to be honest, I gelled with this thing after, I don't know, 20 minutes or so without a problem at all. So all new for 2019. Now they've thrown quite a bit of this bike for this year with regards to electronics and whatnot and the stuff that comes on the bike. Now the bike has, it's a 690 one-cylinder 4-stroke engine that puts out 74 brake horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque. Because she only weighs 147 kilos, goes like shit off a shovel. It's an absolute rocket. Now supermoto bikes have sort of died out over the years. They used to be very popular, but it kind of dipped off. But KTM and Husqvarna, they've kind of kept going with their supermoto bikes, and now for 2019 they've got this bike out, and they've got the SMCR, which this is, and the Enduro version of this bike, which is obviously a taller bike, off-road orientated. But this is the street orientated bike, and it is actually very usable for the street, and they've done a lot to this bike to make it usable. We've got the KTM electronics package on it, which means we've got corner sensitive traction control and corner sensitive ABS. We've got a quick shifter and a down blipper which works pucker, loving it a lot. And we've got 2 riding modes on it. We've got 1 and 2, which is one mapping 1 is kind of like a street mapping, and 2 is your kind of sport mapping, turns off the anti-wheelie and all that sort of good business, lets you lift the front end up, which I'm not going to do because I'm shit at it, and it's not my bike, and it'll cost me $1,500 on the excess if I lob it up the street. But she has got some power, I tell you. Oh my god. We've got WP suspension, which is fully adjustable manually, not electronically, so no semi-active or anything like that, but it is fully adjustable. We've got a hydraulic slipper clutch, which means you can really smash it into bends and really stamp down on them gears, and it stops the rear wheel from locking up or sort of rear wheel chatter, which works a treat. What else have we got? It doesn't have anything like heated grips or anything, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, whatever. One thing that's really disappointing actually is the dash, because they've thrown quite a lot of this bike. I would have thought, you know, they could have put a little TFT dash on there, because all you've got on there is your speedo and your trip 1. I don't know if it's got trip 1 or 2. I think it's just got 1. So no rev counter, no nothing, no what do you call it, no fuel tank, no fuel gauge on there, which sucks, I think. So you just get the normal light comes on when your fuel's low, and then you need to get yourself to a petrol station. But you know, as I said, with all the money and stuff and tech that they've thrown at this bike, I would have thought they could have put a nice little TFT dash on with a bit more info on it, which is a bit of a shame, but still doesn't take away from the fact that this is a brilliant bike. It's got a 13.5 litre tank, I believe, and because it's a single cylinder, it's not thirsty at all. So I don't know how many what the mileage is out of a tank you'd get on it. I'd have to test that if I was to take the bike out for longer, but no idea. But they don't use a lot of fuel. Mirrors, they're good, you can see a lot, but it is quite they do flop about a bit. It is quite a vibey I mean, look at that mirror there, look. That's properly unusable, can't see a thing in that. And I'm cruising here at 90k an hour, and the thing's lost the will to live. Depends on what where you are in the rev range, but yeah, but they look terrible, don't they? I mean, look at them, there's a big blooming rubber Johnny on it. It looks terrible, so they'd have to come off. Get some nice bar end underslung jobbers on there and you'd be sorted. Well, what else can we talk about while we're waiting for the delights of the Deutsche Bahn? We've got a 4-pot single caliper, single Brembo brakes at the front, and I think a 2-pot single disc on the rear, but the brakes are awesome. I mean, the bike doesn't weigh a lot anyway, but the brakes, you can really lean on them, and it does work a treat, so that's always good. And you do have that luxury of the corner and ABS as well, if you were to ride a really quite spirited. What's also good and makes it very usable is that you've got a USB port there on the side of the on the light cluster, which I've got my camera connected to. So that's pretty cool. And even then, I've put this ball joint on there just so I can mount my camera. You could mount your telephone then on the front, just below the dash. Use it as a sat nav, or mount a sat nav on there, no problem at all. So that's pretty cool. I'm really loving the down blipper. Down blipper works, seems to work better than the quick shifter. Now, with all sort of torquey lumps from KTM or any sort of twins or single cylinders, I think it's difficult to get a smooth quick shifter. As I said in a previous video, the quick shifter on mine isn't particularly smooth. What I'm hoping is, supposedly it's going to be better. Mine's in for the service and it's getting all the new software update, which will change some of the suspension settings, and apparently, right gear be good. Apparently it's made the quick shifter slightly nicer, so yeah, I mean, no, it's fine. It's still not an inline 4 smooth quick shifter, but it's definitely livable. You can use it and it's good fun. But the down blipper, that is incredibly smooth. That works a treat. I mean, even if it's, you know, not a butter smooth quick shifter, having a quick shifter makes the ride just so much more fun. But wouldn't this be a beautiful and lovely bike to have in the garage to complement the GT as a second KTM? I'd love it. I've been banging on for years that I want to get a second bike, but it's just not going to happen at the moment. I've just got too much other commitments going on. But I mean, what else can we say about her? It looks cool as hell. I said that's just that one niggle. I think that the dash, they could have made that so much better. Lovely little TFT on there, and that would make this bike pretty nigh on perfect. Oh god, look at the state of them clouds up there. Don't want to get caught in that, thanks. Blast of wind. But that down blipper works a treat, an absolute treat. I do not want to get soaking wet, thanks. Some nastiness coming down from the bottom, down from the south. Oh dear God. You don't want to be in the Alps just now. It's chucking it down. Well, there she is. Beautiful looking machine. Typical supermoto styling. Fuel tanks at the rear, as I said before, 13.5 litres. And there you can see there at the front the single disc 4-pot Brembo calipers. Very punchy, very powerful, even though it's just the one disc, single disc. Still very good. There you can see the WP suspension. Now I think this has got 215 millimeters of travel, and the Enduro is something like 255 millimeters, I think. So it's kind of I don't know, it kind of looks like a high bike, but it really isn't. I mean, I'm 6'2", and my GT is taller than this bike, which is a bit of a strange one, but there you go. Exhaust sounds okay, but I mean, look at it. It looks like it's been thrown together by some drunk Albanian on a welder's bench. Properly nice looking bike, and so much fun to ride. Absolutely brilliant. I kind of don't want to give her back. Yeah, what else can we say about her? Tyres, it comes with the Bridgestone S21s, which is a fantastic tyre. Really good. Bags of grip with them, so I think I had a set of them on my XR and I was very happy with the grip, but I didn't think they'd be that great on this, but they work a treat. Absolutely brilliant. Few things that would need adjusting for me. The rear brake lever is way too high for me. That would have to be adjusted, and probably the gear shift lever, but that's just a minor thing. But nothing too much else, to be honest. Your normal sort of halogen headlights there, no LEDs or anything like that on this bike, but absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it to bits. I'm so gutted I've got to give it back. Be good as well for put a set of graphics on them from Motor Pro Works that I've stuck on my bike. Just perk that up, spruce it up that bit more. It'd look absolutely packer. Right, I think that's about all I can say about it here from the walk round. There she is. What a top bike. Bags of fun. Be good to have the Enduro and hoof it up and down there a bit. In fact, we could even go up there. Hopefully we don't bin it. Bit of green lane in, no worries. I'm glad the grass is not wet, because that would have been a disaster. No idea where this leads, but whose idea was this? What is this? Off the cliff? Sean, this is the shittest idea you've ever come up with. Roger that. Doesn't get. Oh, grass is slippy here. Shit. Glad this bike only weighs 147 kilos. Oh, grass is wet here. Sean, you tosser. It's fairly harmless. Clothes are covered in shit now. Alright guys, well I'm going to call it a day for now. That has been my sort of 5 pence worth on the 2019 KTM SMCR. Catch you in the next one. Take it easy, ride safe. Oh no, a train. Ugh. Sit here and sweat me conkers off. It's too hot to be waiting for trains. Way too hot for this shizzle. Stand in the friggin' shade. Not very often you get to abandon your steed in the middle of the road. Reminds me of last year when I rode to Zawaland in 38 degree heat.